a very, very early morning this morning. We were up by 3:30, out the door before 4:30. It is now just after 7, and we are in Brockville because somebody is getting spayed today. So she was very good on the trip down. Now we're just waiting in line for the drop-off. And then Kevin and I will have a day around Brockville to kind of explore and hang out until we pick Tendi up again. Okay. She's watching the other dogs. Alright, so we're gonna finish drop off and then go explore. Well, we are here in Brockville. We just parked the van over there and we are heading to the Brockville Rail Tunnel. There we go. It is quite a crisp morning. I don't know if you can catch it on the camera, but every now and then I can see my breath. So it's a little chilly. In the van, it said it was about 3-4 degrees. So a chilly morning, so got my coat on. Kevin's just looking at this ditch kind of over here, and there's some tree down across it.
It almost looks solid.
Yeah, that looks like maybe duckweed. Yeah. So yeah, we're heading down the path to the rail tunnel. So this is the tunnel. It says, enjoy your tunnel experience. For your safety, the tunnel is under continuous video surveillance. Walking speed is the only speed. This includes bikes, rollerblades. Avoid injury or harming the tunnel features. Stay within the curbs. There's water, and don't smoke. And then some contact info about the tunnel. And it's open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So at 9, they close these giant doors. And at 9 a.m. they open them again. I don't know if you can tell, but it's so humid in here. My glasses have almost totally fogged up. It is kind of crazy. So there's some music. Yeah, there's going to be some stalactites, some stalagmites. So stalactites are the little finger-like things that hang from the ceiling, and then stalagmites are the ones that grow from the ground. So there's some music. Every now and then there are little info stations, so we'll stop at some of those. And we also have a light show going on, so get ready to enjoy. So, trying to see if I can not sure if you can see, but right up there there's some stalagmites. I'll see if I can find some better ones. I'm sure I can. So you definitely want to wear shoes that you don't mind getting wet. As you can see, the floor is wet, and I suggest a jacket because it's cool, and you're gonna get dripped on. Like, fall, there's a drip coming from up there, and that's just natural groundwater, and it's like so the Brockville Rail incorporated 1853. There's a few areas where they've reinforced a little bit, but they've tried to keep as natural and original as possible.
Did you get hit?
I got hit right in the eye.
Oh, there we go.
That's kind of neat. So you've got all the natural stone that they use to build the walls in like a brick pattern, but then you have areas like this where all the dripping, so it's building stalactites here from the dripping and the minerals in the water. And then you can't see the brick pattern from the buildup of minerals. We've also got some moss. Quite neat. Says manual shield tunneling construction in northern sections of this tunnel have to be excavated using the tunneling shield to bore through solid earth. Framework shield served as a temporary support structure that protected the workers from cave-ins as they labored within, digging the tunnel out in front of them. The stone tunnel structure was built by masons at the trailing end of the shield, and the shield was then jacked forward as excavation continued. It's cool. So there's some areas like this where the water's actually pouring out at quite a good rate. So up here it says James Street, 17 meters above. So steam locomotives, CPR locomotive 3011 was one of the two steam engines that were able to pass through the railway tunnel. Here's it standing in the yard south of the tunnel in May 1938. The second engine was 3063. So more stalactite formations on the walls. And you can kind of see them a little better up there. They're kind of hanging off. The water's hitting on the lights. Diesel locomotives in order to service the remaining waterfront industries. When steam engines were taken out of service, a pair of yard diesels were used up until 1970. Oh, here comes the train. Yeah, there's lots of buildup in this section on both sides. Most of these boxes have little help boxes in case you need help. Dripping groundwater. The tunnel was designed to leak, allowing water to permeate the stone walls, prevents a buildup of hydrostatic pressure that could cause the walls to collapse. Certain areas are naturally more wet than others, and this has always been the case since the tunnel first opened in 1860. The continuous flow of water has caused a beautiful mineral deposit seen throughout the tunnel. The water has been tested and is natural groundwater, not leakage from treated city water systems. Any good drainage system incorporated into the new tunnel floor. Yes.
There's no way you can do that.
Yep. So this is a really wet section. Oh, and you can see, I don't know if you can see very well, but there's like a change in the ceiling from the brick area to just rock. And that's just, you can see where there's little plates where they've supported, and that's just natural rock. I think last time I was here, I actually found some fossils in the rock. Drilling and blasting construction. You are now in the section of the tunnel north of King Street that had to be blasted through bedrock. In 1850, dynamite, nitroglycerin, had not been invented yet, so black powder, gunpowder, was the explosives of choice. Blasting holes were hand chiseled into the rock and fitted with powder. The remnants of a few of these holes can be seen in sections of this tunnel. So I'm guessing that chiseled area, like here would be another chiseled hole. So they would fill it with gunpowder and blow it up. This is also a drier area. And we are 17.5 meters under Pine Street now. Oh, something cool's coming up. Yep, I'm getting dripped. So this is looking like straight up. Ah. Oh, look at all the kind of on the edge there. Kind of interesting. It's like veins. Ah. That was the extraction shaft. A large hole goes up to below the road surface near the corner of Victoria Avenue and Pine Street. It was used as an access point during the blasting operations. It would have been used like a mine shaft to extract blasting rock, to bring in construction material and supplies and workers, and pump out groundwater. Look at all these stalactites. Stalactites. So, and what a difference. One wall all covered like that, but right across, it's just blank. Ever since the tunnel was built, groundwater has been seeping through its walls and ceiling. Minerals in the water leach from the surrounding limestone and sandstone have been deposited to create beautiful mineral formations seen throughout the tunnel. These formations are primarily calcite, which is white in color, and dolomite, which is more yellowish. Traces of iron appear orange and red, while nickel and copper are blue and green. There are stalactites hanging from the ceiling, and walls and flow stones where water is flowing over the surface. The growth of these formations in the tunnel is faster than in most naturally formed caves, but still only about 1 millimeter per year. Moving back into the dug area instead of blasted. I think it's really cool with the colored lights. Brockville and Ottawa Railway Locomotive and Passenger Depot. In the 1860s, the B&O had set a new wood-burning locomotive like this one in the picture. In the background, in the first passenger depot that was located south of Water Street Portal. Oh. So we're back in the dug area, but there is still little patches where they had to blast. And now we're under King Street. Morning. Yeah, we're getting back to a drier area. So, ventilation shafts. The steam locomotive that first traveled through this tunnel built clouds of smoke and steam. It was important to provide ventilation for these. The two shafts you see above first opened to the exterior in the original Market Square above the tunnel. In 1863, the new Victoria Hall, now City Hall, was built directly overhead, and the ventilation shafts were incorporated into the new building. Today they appear as two stone chimneys just jutting from the roof of City Hall. On top of the eastern chimney is the new electronic vent fan, which helps keep the tunnel fresh. So there's the one, and there's the other. Oh. The music stopped. Oh, here comes the train. See that red light? So, as it said, these vent shafts here, they actually still work, but in a slightly different way than originally. So we're right under City Hall. Cut and cover construction. The tunnel was constructed beginning at this end by digging a large trench from Water Street to about King Street through the original Market Square. As the Victoria Hall, now City Hall, did not exist at the time. The arched stone tunnel was then built in the trench and backfilled to restore the Market Square. Now the holes on both sides of the tunnel that held the scaffolding and an arched wooden frame note the holes on both sides of the tunnel. They held scaffolding and an arched wooden form used by stonemasons to support the ceiling during construction for the later parts. So that's what all these square holes are. They go all the way down. they held scaffolding. That's where the scaffolding went in. Well, they built the arch ceiling. Alright. So this is the last one of these signs. It says the railway tunnel from the Canadian Pacific Rail Yard. About 1950, when the tunnel was still used to deliver raw materials to a few remaining waterfront industries. So up until 1950, they still had trains going through here, which is kind of cool. And we are now under Water Street and at the end of the tunnel. And if you look at the floor, they've put an impression of like a railroad track. And now we are down at the Brockville Marina. Yeah, so different people who have donated and are benefactors to the project. And then, of course, the same, rules and contact info. So a big sign about the railway tunnel. We started way up at that corner and walked all the way downtown and came out this end. So there's downtown. And there's a caboose over there. So I guess they also call the caboose a van. It says the Brockville van or caboose. Built in 1954. Donated and restored in 1987. So we're now outside the tunnel, walking our way back up to the van. And so this is City Hall, where Market Square used to be. And those two chimneys there are the ventilation shaft. And as it said, see, that one over there has the new air exchange system on it. Alright, so we're back at the vet's and we're just waiting for her to come out that door. She's gonna be in a cute little bodysuit and all groggy, but it's all done. Hi, puppies!
I didn't think you'd be walking like that.
Oh yeah, she's like, nothing even happened to me.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing even happened to me.
Good girl.
You said to slide that back?
Yep. Just didn't want to get her fur in there. Can it?
Perfect.
Alright.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Thank you. Right up, up. Oh, come on. Up. There we go. You want the foods already? They said you wouldn't be hungry. So, Tendi just had her spay. She's in her nice little suit, so she doesn't have to wear one of those annoying cones. Let's see. You want some? Okay. Alright. Well, we're gonna get on the road. We've got a 2.5-hour drive. And then, yeah, it's been a day. Lots of fun.